Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome to Fantasy Forecast for Saturday, January 21st, 2017. Another winning day for us last night here. That's 4 in a row for us here. We're doing just wonderfully. Played the late games. We avoided the Harden disaster. I mean, guys, it was really against a bad opponent. If you paid 12-2 at that price, and I know Harden is a fantasy god, but it really wasn't a smart move yesterday. Anyway, scores behind me. 290, which was pretty good. I mean, it won. Where the heck's my entry? There we go. So, not bad. Apparently I've been hitting on different optimizers every single night somehow. I'm not sure how that works with my own modeling here, but I've hit Fantasy Labs one night. We had the exact same lineup as C-Sur-88, and you guys know he's a rather famous fantasy player if you've been playing a little bit. The day after that we hit RotoQL. Day after that I think we hit DSFR. Last night I heard we hit Chris Fantasy Plays. Just every single night it seemed to be nailing a different provider in some way, shape, or form. But to me that doesn't matter as long as you win. As long as my models come out and say this is where it's going to go, then that's the whole point of fantasy. It's all about the money, all about cash games, and all about just bread and butter, always building up your balances. I mean, if you look at my history as we scroll through, you can see it's a majority of cash entries. I mean, there's a couple quintuples, but it's essentially cash that wins every night. That's how you do it. You get your 304 and, you do cash. 50-50s, which have great cashing rates. You do double ups, and you just keep on rolling. All right, let's move into today. I have a blank lineup behind me. We need to add some point guards and some people into the positions here. This is going to be an interesting little slate today. I mean, we have an 11 gamer, but I think there's only 9 on the back end here. They have 2 during the early only slate. We're just not going to touch on those here. So if you're looking for that stuff, if you're looking to try to play Reggie Bullock or something because he's going to be in with KCP out, well, I'm not going to really give a lot of advice on that. I'm definitely not going to build down those areas today. So you can just pause now and move out if you're going for early only. For main slate, though, let's continue. Oh boy, lots of options. You can start at Bledsoe. That's an easy 45 points today. And I do think you're looking at scores above 300 today. I think you can definitely look at let's build for a 5.5 to 6 times build a day instead of a 5x build. If you're aiming for a 5x as your solid floors, I think you might lose. So try to punch up your numbers just a touch today. You have a lot of options and a lot of choices. It shouldn't be too difficult. Going through anyone against the Nets. I mean, I can just go through them all piece by piece, but Walker, because he's against the Nets, and there's always blowout risk with all these games, but the Nets are just such a juicy opponent in general. I mean, you can really roster them night to night to night, the team that's against them, and pretty much get above average expected fantasy performance from any given player. So at 7,900, that's not a bad way to invest salary today. Conley, T, Dragic. I'd be passing on T against Utah. Conley against Houston, I think is an okay choice for GPPs. Rose against Phoenix is going to get a pace upgrade, but he's getting really expensive for what he performs. I know he had a great 50-pointer a couple nights ago. That was just a ceiling performance for me. If you look at the average game logs going through, he's more of like a 32, 35-point-a-night player. Dennis Schroeder against Philly. He's come down a bit, but I don't know if you really want to play it there yet. I mean, it seems to me the price is fair. TJ McConnell's a bit too expensive for me. You get to the more interesting stuff with Austin Rivers. I think people are still going to be looking there. It's the last game, really, where we're going to have Chris Paul and Blake Griffin out and be able to maximize that value. As soon as Griffin comes back, a little bit of this Felton and Rivers value should vanish up because he's going to have to take up some of the minutes, and they are going to play him. I know it doesn't directly relate to the position, but it should have a filter-down effect for at least one of those guys. Now, Chris Paul staying out is going to still cause a big bump for either Rivers or Felton. The question is going to see where the rotation rolls. I'm going to be avoiding Collison now that Lawson is back. And, Felton, though. If I'm going to lock in a guy today, and I'm trying to give one position to each one. Guys, if there's last-minute news, this will change. This is why I have a subscription service for to send a lineup to them 5 minutes before. I'll say this now, and these are guys that I'm definitely targeting when I'm building the lineup. These are good solid plays. But I might not end up playing it in the end now because I'm not giving a full lineup, so I'm not running a last-minute update anymore. So remember that. Be watching Basketball Monster, Fantasy Labs, tweets and things like that to to get that last minute injury news and be ready to plug in the second string guy right away if you need to. It's smart basketball sense. When you found out Tony Parker was going to sit out, Patty Mills should instantly be coming to your head as like, that guy's a play. Now, he did really crappy for the whole first half when that happened a couple days ago, but it is still the proper play. Felton today. I don't know stomach why when Rivers and Felton yesterday are around the 54, 5,500 mark, Felton performs well, and then he drops $800. I don't understand that, but I think that's a good way to start. Moving on to shooting guard today. Harden at 12-2. Well, now he's playing Memphis. It's another slow team. I believe he put up just under 40 fantasy points against them before. Even if he puts up to 50 today and a statistical difference, which is likely, are you happy paying 12-2 for a 50 burger today? I would probably pass. Again, I think today's another Harden fade. Alphabet, almost the same story at 11. I mean, I love the guy at 10,000 or so even against a Miami opponent, but at 11-1, you're really testing the waters as to what I want to pay for him. Batum against the Nets, don't need to say anything there. That's a good target. D-Wade possibly is a sleeper pick. I think Booker looks okay against the Knicks. It's just a question of whether he hits his shots or not. He is scoring dependent, but if he does hit his shots, the upside is there for Miles. You could see him running to 40 today, no problem. Will Barton, as long as they're going to continue to be hurting with Gary Harris out, and he seems to be the beneficiary, I'll be happy locking in Barton today, even against the Clips, and they're a little tougher against the shooting guard position, but you still have those key outages of Griffin and Paul, which is filtering through the rest of the team right now. I think that you're okay with Barton today. You can look at Waiters as a real GPP pick. He's still getting minutes, and he's still jacking up the shot a ton. Problem is, we keep on thinking that opportunity with those shots, it's gonna finally equate at some point, and the night will come. But he's been so cold, what can you say? So I'd be straying off that today. Redick against Denver. I mean, you look in a faster paced game, so Clippers and Denver. I'd be targeting to get in some there a little. With Hood out right there, definitely be looking at Jingles. I think Jingles will be getting the start today. That's a nice little pickup. And I don't see much else there. So I'd be locking for your shooting guard, Will Barton, and move on from there. At small forward, LeBron against San Antonio, real tough to pay 10-5 for. I mean, if you have to spend up, though. I mean, I understand. You're going to get 50 points, and that's kind of a better spend up than Harden today. It's $1,700 less. So Jimmy Butler, I think, is getting real expensive on the Sacramento opponent. Now, he can perform at this price level, but he doesn't always perform at this price level. You're getting to a very fairly priced Jimmy Butler. Now, if that's where your salary happens to fit and it's a spend up, I don't think that you have a problem going there today either. But I don't think you're going to see ceilings like really nice performances out of either James or Jimmy Buckets today. Kwame Leonard against Cleveland. Now, he's been rolling a couple 50 burgers, nice, but they're finally adjusting the price, and he puts up so many low 40s performances when you look at the full game log against a Cleveland team, which is tougher really for defense when you think about it. This isn't one of the pushover teams. I would kind of stray off him today. I think he's also looking a little ceiling low, which means you have to go all the way down there. You've got Carmelo against Phoenix. Now, I know Zinger's back, but Melo looks okay to hit that 5 times floor and maybe go a little above to get you that 5.5 you're going to need today. Be looking at Melo for a start today. Look at Hayward. Hayward looks just fine against the Pacers to me. Let's go back there. And what else we got here? Covington, perhaps. Bazemore, Bogdo, Levert. If you haven't seen Levert, they've finally given the rookie a little bit more run, and man, he's doing a lot with it. He could be a little bit of a force popping out over it for the Nets, which is amazing for them. They really need something to help go along with Brolo there. So if Brolo could get a little bit of help, that could be it. Small forward, Jingles, though. If Jingles going to get the start with Hood out, I think that you just kind of have to really roll with Jingles today and just start there. And it's going to open up your lineup in a lot of different places. So I would look there. You don't have to. I mean, this is kind of a wide open position. You could look at Levert instead, but I'd just be starting at Jingles. The problem is it's Utah. So if you don't like that, I mean, yeah, is there anything that's more? I mean, you're going to have to spend up somewhere. I suppose you can do it at Melo. because Jingles with the Utah, I mean, I don't know if you guys want to take Utah today. It's an 11-game slate and, only 180 points or 190, whatever the damn score is. You can do it, though. So look at him. I'm going to leave this a small forward blank. I'm not sure where to go on that one today. I mean, for solid. Jokic 9,900. My God, guys. 9,900. But he's performing for it. So I don't really know what to say here. The guy can get in foul trouble and he can just give you a 28-point stinker, and then you're really screwed at 9,900. But if he keeps on performing at this level, he's probably worth even more than that. I don't... This is a really hard call, and if you don't want to spend up in a different slot, you can try spending up at Jokic today. I mean, Blake is out for this game, which is helpful, but... you can look at Zinger too. I think Zinger is going to have the start today, and he came off the bench in his first game back, but if he gets the start, I think he's going to easily pay a $7,200 price. The guy normally is $8,000 plus, so I think you're getting a significant 10% discount there, and you can just kind of lock in the Zinger today. Other than Zinger, let's see what else we got cheap. Ilyasova perhaps, Booker perhaps. Fareed, I'm not sure if you want to go with Fareed anymore. Thad Young looks okay with me, even against Utah. I mean, I know that's an ugly game to kind of be targeting. Why are we talking about it? But I just see good matchups in it in between the players. Channing Frye could get the start today, though. Channing Frye could also be an excellent pick. And if he does get the start, he would probably be the lock instead of Zinger, and you can work your lineups around that. And that's pretty much power forward. Let's move into center. Center, D. Cousins leads off the list and is a great spend up today. I don't think you have a problem spending your money there, and if you find that you have a lot of money left and you don't have a lot of options to spend up, go for it. Cousins is a great pick. DeAndre Jordan is really expensive against Denver. He really relies on some of the production of Chris Paul to get him his extra scoring, and I don't think that's a smart way to go. We're seeing Whiteside drop commensurate with his effort, not enough yet. Gasol's got Houston. I think that's a little intriguing as a GPP pick. Gobert, the guy's been on fire lately. If you guys are looking at Gobert's game logs, just check him out and be like, wow, because if he could do a third in a row, then that's an amazing payoff at 7,800. I think that's an incredible GPP pick if he can keep it up for a third game. It's just entirely possible with how well he's played. It seems like he's just on. Something's bugging him this week. Miles Turner against Utah. Tyson Chandler against the Knicks. Love it. Even with Zinger moving into center spot, if that happens, and it probably won't. Knowing them, they won't do it right. But O'Gwyn could still be getting plenty of run. I mean, he screwed everyone that first night. Then the next night, a lot of people were off him, and he performs like crazy. Who knows what he does tonight? But that could be a great GPP pick too. Center is actually kind of loaded with some stuff today, which is nice. You got Joel Embiid out today, so you got Okafor really jumping into the mix as well. I mean, only 4,600 if he gets 28 minutes. That's certainly a possibility today. I think you guys have a lot of choices at the center position. I'm just going to say, because you're probably going to have spend-ups, lock in Cousins today. Now, if you need a drop, though, I've given plenty of choices for that. Okay. That's going to do it for Fantasy Forecast for today. I do try to post, player updates and things on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter, and you'll find my link in the description. Please give a thumbs up if you like today's video. If you're looking for complete lineups, you're going to have to talk to me on Twitter about that. I don't do them anymore. If you look back in my videos, you'll find an announcement video, and you'll see why. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching Fantasy Forecast for this Saturday. I hope you guys have been winning some good money this week, and I hope this video helps you guys win some more today. Thank you so much for spending part of your weekend with me today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Go out there and go win some big money.